Friends, literally an hour ago I finished this painting. And based on fresh impressions, I want to share the specifics of this job. The painting was done on a textured surface. The texture was laid down with sonnet paste. What was the texture created for? An image made simply on a smooth surface looks too flat and banal. If the work is done on canvas, and this composition is done on argillite, the texture of the canvas adds a certain charm or decor to the work. Some roughness is missing on smooth surfaces. What is it for? To create a special pictorial environment of the whole painting. Even though most of the movement to fill objects with color is done by applying smooth masks, there is still that texture that creates an additional decorative effect, and the painting needs it. What do I particularly like about this work? It's an unusual way of looking at objects. I wrote this work by photo reference and purposely chose a painting with some kind of distorted view of the image. In traditional still lives, landscapes, we always look at objects from the level of the viewer's or artist's gaze. Here, however, we rise above these objects, see them slightly from above, and plus the foreshortening of these objects has been changed. There is some perspective going downward, which slightly distorts the presentation of the objects and makes the picture realistic, but at the same time with an abstract solution. The abstractness of all our elements is of course set by the glass and the way the objects break in this glass, and the inscriptions are bifurcated and some images are duplicated in the glass, and it still gives a special look to the image. Also, an interesting solution for this painting is that all the objects are depicted in a larger than realistic size, and they have this effect of floating on the viewer, capturing his attention, due to the fact that we, as already observers of this still life, can look at its details. That is, when objects are depicted in their life size, or we see them in nature, we cannot catch there all the small nuances that the object itself bears. For example, glass, or some kind of dense cork, or a table surface. But when the artist gives us an enlarged image, we involuntarily have a researcher's eye, and we can look at how the artist solved the problem, where he put the strokes and highlights on the picture, how the objects would look like if we could see them in this enlarged size. And all of this gives the painting an unusual, interesting feel. I'd also like to mention the richness of the color scheme. But at the same time, despite the fact that many colors are taken in full force, the work does not look garish or somehow overdone in terms of color combinations. Due to the fact that we worked with naturalistic objects, and tried to convey them exactly as they are in the photo reference, we did not have any color overpowering. But due to the fact that acrylic tends to lose its shade after drying, a special technology had to be applied here. The first layer of color was yellow, which filled this entire canvas. And already on top I distributed other shades of color, but in many objects this yellow breaks through the thickness of color, just in giving this necessary illumination, lighting up the colors in the picture. And they look fresh and the painting radiates light, which is to say chewiness, which this work does not produce. Once completed, the work is coated with acrylic varnish, it is not afraid of wet cleaning and is ready to stand in the frame. The artist Zeliev was with you. Thank you for your attention.